What is so interesting about three people in a house? When a girl is all alone in a house and your mind plays tricks on you. Allow me to introduce one of the finest thrillers Bollywood has produced. It's a showcase of talent from the director's cinematography to the actors. The movie was reportedly shot in less than 15 days inside a single house, and it features only 3 main actors whose characters aren't even named.
Kaun?
Let's begin. The story begins with a girl, we'll call her Urmila, who is home alone and talking to her mother on the phone. She begs her mother to come home quickly because she's scared of being alone. She then turns on the TV, where the news reports about a mentally unstable serial killer who tricks people into letting him into their homes before murdering them. The news warns viewers not to open the door for strangers. After watching the news, Urmila becomes paranoid and starts feeling like someone is inside her house. She nervously checks every room. A little later, she senses a presence again, as she walks into the living room and sees several people staring directly at her. But when she looks again, they're gone. She then checks the front door, but no one is there. Suddenly, 2 hands grab her from behind the door and she wakes up. It was all just a nightmare. It's raining heavily. Thus, the movie creates a sense of isolation from the world as the rain acts like a screen. She then hears a noise under the bed and discovers that it's only her pussy hiding there. Relieved, she heads to the kitchen with her pussy to prepare something to eat. Just then, the doorbell rings. A man is standing outside asking for the address of someone named Malhotra. Urmila tells him that this is the Gupta residence, not Malhotra's. However, the man insists that Malhotra gave him this exact address. She firmly tells him to leave and returns to the kitchen. A few moments later, the doorbell rings again. It's the same man. This time he says he needs to make an urgent phone call to someone named Arjun. Urmila replies that the house phone isn't working and sends him away once more. Soon after, the bell rings yet again. Now the man claims that his car has broken down, it's cold outside, and asks if he can come inside for a while. Urmila lies, saying that her husband is sleeping upstairs, so she can't let him in. She shuts the door and walks back into the kitchen. Suddenly, the man appears outside the kitchen window, startling her. He asks for something to eat, and despite being frightened, Urmila hands him a sandwich. He thanks her and leaves. Later, while she's watching TV, the doorbell rings once again. The man returns just to compliment her sandwich, saying it's the best one he's ever eaten, before leaving again. As Urmila resumes watching television, the man asks her to pull back the curtain so he can watch TV from outside. While watching, he keeps asking strange and uncomfortable questions, irritating her until she angrily tells him to go away. Once again, the doorbell rings. This time the man says, "Your husband is awake. I saw a light turn on in the upstairs room." This terrifies Urmila because she had lied about her husband. She begins to think that the serial killer from the news has actually entered her house. Trembling with fear, she slowly walks toward the stairs. Just then, something crashes upstairs. In a panic, she opens the front door and begs the man for help. He assures her not to worry and goes upstairs to check. After searching, he says no one is there. Then he calmly reveals the truth. He himself threw a stone through the upstairs window, causing the noise. He also admits that he knew all along that Urmila was alone in the house. He casually sits on the sofa as if it were his own home and asks Urmila to make him a cup of coffee. When she returns with the coffee, the TV is still showing news about the serial killer. The man jokingly asks, "Do you think I'm that killer?" Ignoring the question, Urmila tells him to leave. Instead, the man picks up a decorative spear from the room. Urmila panics and tries to run, but he simply hands the spear to her and says, "Keep this with you. If I do anything suspicious, you can kill me. I'll leave as soon as the rain stops." This gesture eases the tension and the two begin talking normally. Urmila slowly starts trusting him. Then her cat walks over to the man. He angrily shoos it away, saying that he absolutely hates cats. Moments later, the electricity goes out. Urmila goes into the kitchen to light a candle and finds her cat dead. Terrified, she tries to escape the house, but another man is already standing at the front door. She immediately tells him that the first man is a murderer who killed her cat. The newcomer confronts the stranger. Urmila explains how the man forced his way into her house and killed her cat. But the stranger denies everything and even suggests that Urmila herself may have killed the cat. Instead, he begins questioning the newcomer. "Why are you outside this house so late at night? Nobody inside called the police, so how did you end up here?" The newcomer replies that he's Police Officer Qureshi. He says he noticed a suspicious car parked nearby and came to investigate. Before he could ring the bell, Urmila had already opened the door. The stranger immediately calls him a liar, insisting that he parked his car properly by the roadside. The 2 men start fighting, and the officer's gun falls onto the floor. Urmila grabs it and forces both men to sit down at gunpoint. She calls her mother and asks her to send the police immediately. While waiting, the officer casually suggests making some coffee. Urmila keeps both men at gunpoint and takes them into the kitchen. Suddenly, the stranger overpowers her, snatches the gun, and tells her to call the police station to verify whether Officer Qureshi actually works there. When she calls, she's told that no officer named Qureshi works at that station. This is why I have trust issues. Taking advantage of the confusion, the supposed officer grabs the gun again and finally admits the truth. He says he's actually a thief, not a serial killer. He had only entered the house with the intention of stealing, and everything else was just bad luck. He asks Urmila to bring some rope so they can tie up the stranger. Before they can do that, the stranger suddenly attacks and kills the thief with the decorative spear. Urmila witnesses the murder and runs upstairs in terror. The stranger then tries to call the police, but when he picks up the phone, he realizes the telephone wires have been cut. At that moment, he understands something terrifying. Someone else has been inside the house all along. Believing Urmila is now in danger, he heads upstairs to search for her. As he's walking, his foot catches on a rolled-up carpet. Curious, he unrolls it and makes a horrifying discovery. Hidden inside the carpet is Mr. Malhotra's dead body. Before he can even react, Urmila appears behind him and tries to stab him in the back with a knife. That's when the film reveals its biggest fuck you to the audience. Urmila is the real serial killer the television news had been warning everyone about from the very beginning. After a suspensing struggle, Urmila manages to stab the stranger in the back. But even after being stabbed, the stranger manages to fight back and briefly overpowers her. But before he can stop her, the thief arrives at the balcony. Although severely injured, managed to survive. Seeing the struggle, he mistakenly believes the stranger is attacking Urmila, so he grabs the decorative spear and kills the stranger. The moment he turns around, he's stunned by Urmila's psychopathic expression. She stabs him as well. She then pushes his body down the balcony and, in one of the movie's creepiest moments, starts dancing in the rain with a chilling smile on her face. The next morning, everything appears completely normal. Wearing fresh clothes, Urmila is once again talking to her mother on the disconnected phone, as if nothing had happened. The doorbell rings and she walks up to the door, and another stranger asks, "Excuse me, I'm looking for Mr. Malhotra." And with that, Kaun comes to an end with the infamous final scene. Bahut Shukriya.